Godolkin University, where trauma gets graded on a curve, and the only thing more dangerous than Compound V is whatever's growing inside the kids who took it. But here's the thing. Through all the chaos, gore, and campus-wide mental breakdowns, there's one clue buried so deep in Gen V's story that it might actually change how we understand the boys' universe forever. And no, it's not the supe virus, or even Homelander's surprise cameo. It's something weirder, smaller, and far more dangerous. A pattern hidden inside Elmira, the woods, and Marie Moreau's blood. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. So buckle up, because this isn't just a breakdown. It's a theory that could rewrite everything we thought we knew about Vought's perfect little playground, the Elmira loop, where it all begins again. Let's start with the big one. In Season 2, Episode 5, the heroes go back to where it all began. But here's what's wild. Elmira isn't just a place. It's a loop. A controlled experiment disguised as a childhood trauma center. Every major supe on Gen V has a connection to a controlled environment, a place where Vought scientists could observe how their powers develop under stress. For Marie, it was her foster home and the system that failed her. For Sam, it was the woods. And now, in Season 2, the kids return to Elmira like test subjects going back into the maze. This isn't nostalgia, it's containment. Vought never stopped experimenting. They just changed the setting. Elmira might be the prototype of the woods, the place where Vought first learned that trauma doesn't just activate powers, it amplifies them. And that's why the return there in Season 2 feels so uncomfortable. It's not just a flashback, it's a reset button. The real experiment is starting again. Marie Moreau, the Blood Prophet. Everyone's been calling Marie a bloodbender, but that label undersells what's really going on. Her power isn't just about weaponizing blood, it's about reading it. When Marie manipulates blood, she's not just moving cells. She's accessing the raw data of human life. Blood is Vought's oldest obsession. Compound V moves through it, mutates within it, and records genetic memory. Marie's ability to sense or control that flow makes her a living archive. In theory, she could extract more than just plasma. She could pull out memories, chemical signatures, even Compound V mutations from others. If that sounds wild, remember, the boys' canon has already given us psychic supe DNA, regenerative immortality, and an AI that mimics human thought. Blood as data isn't a stretch. It's the missing piece. So what if Vought's real goal was never to create superheroes, but to create a living database? Someone who could interface directly with Compound V Marie isn't just another student at God U. She's the prototype of something much bigger, the first supe capable of decoding the entire genetic network behind every hero and villain in this universe. That's why Cypher, the mysterious tech-savvy supe obsessed with unlocking potential, took such a keen interest in her. To him, Marie isn't a person.
If you really want to be a help, find Marie Moreau.
Now, let's talk about Sam. On paper, he's a walking panic attack with super strength and a Sesame Street hallucination problem. But what if Sam's delusions aren't delusions at all? What if he's remembering things he was programmed to forget? The woods wasn't just a lab, it was a neural conditioning center. Vought was testing ways to rewrite perception, to control what their subjects saw, felt, and even remembered. Kate's mind control power was the prototype, but Sam was the upgrade. Instead of touching minds, Vought wanted to implant false realities directly into a supe's neural pathways. That means Sam's imaginary friends, the puppets, the cheerful voices, the cartoony logic, could be residue from his reprogramming, like digital artifacts from a corrupted memory file. Think about it. He's violent, confused, and terrified of losing control. Exactly how Vought wants unstable supes to feel. Because fear makes them easier to manipulate. But here's the terrifying part. Sam's instability may also make him the only one who can see through Vought's illusion. The things he hallucinates might actually be fragments of truth.
Give me the phone.
What? Sam?
Was that Vought?
No.
You want them to come take me away?
And when the heroes return to Elmira, he recognizes it not as a place, but as a memory he's already escaped from once before. Sam might be the show's ultimate mirror, the proof that Vought isn't just manufacturing powers, they're manufacturing reality. Then there's Kate Dunlap, everyone's favorite walking trust issue in a red coat. Kate's power, mind control through touch, seems simple at first. But Season 1's finale showed us just how devastating it really is. She can rewrite memories, reshape loyalties, and erase guilt. But here's what no one's asking. Where did that power come from? What if Kate isn't naturally gifted at all? What if her ability is an artificial offshoot, a beta test from the same neural reprogramming project that broke Sam? In that sense, Kate isn't the villain. She's the control group. Every time she wipes a memory, she's feeding data back to Vought's brain mapping tech. They've been building a mind control algorithm off her usage patterns, studying how humans respond to guilt, fear, and suggestion. By the time the kids return to Elmira, Kate's starting to feel the psychic recoil. Her powers are fracturing her mind, bleeding out memories she didn't consent to hold. She starts hearing echoes, voices of everyone she's ever erased. In short, Kate's not losing control. She's becoming the database's next terminal. Another human drive, corrupted by too much data. The Elmira hypothesis, trauma as programming. Now, this is where it gets truly wild. The Elmira facility wasn't just about creating supes. It was about controlling them through trauma. Here's how it works. When compound V is injected into infants, it doesn't just rewrite DNA. It attaches itself to the subject's emotional responses. Every major surge in power corresponds to a traumatic trigger. That's why supes like Kimiko and Marie can't separate violence from survival. Vought didn't accidentally create that link. They engineered it. Trauma equals obedience. Elmira's mission was to amplify that conditioning, to test how far they could push emotional manipulation before the subjects broke. By revisiting Elmira, the heroes are walking back into the lab that programmed their pain. And Marie, with her blood-based power, might be the key to breaking that cycle, because if her blood holds the record of every trauma she's ever survived, she might be able to rewrite the code. Her gift could literally undo the emotional conditioning that keeps supes under control, which would make her not just dangerous, but revolutionary. If all of this sounds like a conspiracy, that's because it is, and Vought is playing it long. Remember the supe-killing virus? The one Shetty weaponized under the football field? That wasn't a rogue project. That was Phase 1. Phase 2 is what we're watching unfold in Gen V Season 2. Containment through consciousness. No more messy viruses, no more PR disasters. If Vought can rewrite how supes think and remember, they can erase disobedience before it starts. They don't need to kill supes. They can just rewrite their reality. And the final phase? Integration. Using blood as the delivery system. That's why Marie is so central to this whole mess. She represents the bridge between physical control, compound V, and psychological control, memory rewriting. In her, Vought found a way to merge biology and psychology, the perfect soldier who can kill, cure, or cleanse with a flick of her wrist. She's the blueprint for a new kind of weapon, the living correction. Humor in the madness. And yeah, sure, this is all horrifying. But let's not pretend Gen V doesn't know exactly how ridiculous it is. This show revels in its own absurdity. It knows that for every decapitation by Pinky, there's a punchline waiting in the blood spray. Think about it. This is a show where an eating disorder doubles as a superpower trigger, where puppet hallucinations have better dialogue than most CW dramas, and where college therapy literally leads to murder. Gen V has always balanced tragedy with meme-level chaos. So if Elmira really is a metaphor for programming, then the humor is the glitch. The laughter, the absurdity, the meta-winks, they're all signs that these characters are starting to break the script written for them. Every joke is an act of rebellion. Every laugh, a moment of clarity. What this means for the boys. Now here's where it all comes full circle. The boys has always been about control. Political, social, and psychological. But Gen V is showing us how that control starts. Not with adults in capes, but with kids in cages. Elmira and the Woods aren't just labs, they're factories for belief systems. And the characters we've come to love, Marie, Sam, Kate, Jordan, and Emma, are the first generation to know they're being watched. They're aware of the manipulation, and that makes them dangerous in a way Homelander never was. Homelander believes he's free. These kids know they're not. That's the real shift in the boys' universe. Vought can't control them through fame or fear anymore. It's gonna have to fight for control of their reality. And with Butcher sniffing around Marie's powers, it's only a matter of time before the boys weaponize that same technology against the supes. Imagine Butcher with access to someone who can literally rewrite trauma. That's not a team-up. That's an apocalypse. The clue you missed. So what's the clue that changes everything? It's not a scene or a prop. It's a pattern. In every flashback, in every blood sample, in every hallucination, the same phrase appears in hidden form. Memory as weapon. That's what Elmira was about. That's what the Woods perfected. And that's what Marie unknowingly embodies. Vought doesn't just create supes anymore. They create stories, implant memories, and erase guilt. They don't need to control the heroes. They just need to control the narrative. Which means the real war in the boys' universe isn't physical, it's psychological. And the first shot was fired back in Elmira years before anyone knew what was happening. The clue we missed? It's that Vought isn't trying to save the world or destroy it. They're trying to rewrite it. And if Marie, Sam, and the others ever truly understand that, they won't just burn the system down, they'll bleed it dry. So yeah, next time you rewatch Gen V, pay attention to the blood, the flashbacks, and the laughter. Because hidden inside all that chaos might be the biggest twist Kripke's universe has ever pulled. That power, memory, and trauma aren't just connected, they're the same thing. And the one person who can finally untangle them?